Welcome to the T.A.C. show. Today with our guest, Sirus Desnoes. So, Cyrus, what got you into acting?
Uh, well, my first show that I was in the school's fourth grade performance of Christmas Carol, or no, sorry, it was the Nutcracker. That's what it was. And I think as time went on in the middle school, I kept doing the musicals and then the dramas, and like through that, I just completely fell in love with the art of theater.
So, was the Nutcracker that first got you into it? Like, was there anything specific, or was it just the act of performing itself?
Uh, yeah, I think I first saw it as like an activity to do. I wasn't like I first did it and I completely fell in love with it. Uh, but I first got that real appreciation of it really once I got into like seventh and eighth grade when I started getting actual parts that weren't just the ensemble.
So, you also do hangar theater stuff, right?
Uh, yeah, I've like done those in the previous years, uh, like the Hangar Theater summer programs and at the Christmas Carol, which I accidentally said earlier, for like the past 3 years, like not including last wait, and not including like the 2020 one.
Yeah. So what made you want to go out and do the hangar theater? Did you just feel like you wanted to do something more with your career, or what was it?
Yeah, definitely. Because before then, the only like theater I did was like within the school, so I wanted to branch out into more of the community shows that uh, was held. And
Is
yeah, the first one I did was the Hanging Theater summer program.
Is there any main difference between the two? Like, does the Hangar Theater just have a bigger audience, or are the auditions harder?
Uh, yeah, I'd say so because like it is encompassing the whole community instead of like just the school to pick from. So I was very glad that they like chose me. I thought I was like talented enough for it.
Oh, that's really cool, dude. Like, as you got older, as you started doing main roles, like, did you ever look at any specific actors for inspiration? Like, anybody specific or any influences?
Uh, no, I don't think I've uh, looked at specific actors, but uh, I think like I've listened to like the soundtracks for like specifically the musicals, and like try to encompass the I guess feel that they express through that, and I try to encompass that into my performance.
So like if like so you watch like a soundtrack for the musical, you look at like the character struggles and problems that they're presenting through their songs and musicals, and then you try to make sure that you can represent that yourself once you're doing that specific role yourself.
Yeah,
So now that you're beginning to now that you're graduating and stuff, do you still want to do theater like as you get into college and do other stuff?
yeah. I've like specifically looked for colleges that have a good like theater and music program because like those are like some of my like big passions that I still want to continue.
Do you think you can make like a career about it someday? Like,
Uh, it would definitely be something that I still want to do as like my main source of income that I'm not sure about. But
yeah.
like even if it isn't, I would still love doing it.
Oh, okay. So what was getting a main role like? Like, what was it like now that you were finally older, getting a main role for once?
I think with the first main role that I've done, which was the eighth grade, which was the Lion King Junior that we did in middle school. Uh, but it was like really fun to do because that was my first experience doing like larger solo performances, like solo songs, like acting in scenes. Uh, like it definitely is a different experience, and that's not to like knock the talent that it takes to be an ensemble character. Like it's definitely a different dynamic between the two of them.
Yeah, was it a little bit weird? Like I know at the time the auditorium was getting rebuilt, right? So you had to do it at the Hangar Theater. Was it a little bit weird at the time?
Yeah, it was, and like that was my first time being at the Hangar Theater, and uh, like it had dressing rooms, and it's like it felt super fancy. It felt like I was uh, like professionally acting, like at least at that point.
So did like everybody get their own individual dressing room? Was it just like you got the males get their own dressing room, then the females have their own dressing room?
Yeah, it was split between the males and females.
So like you get your own specific, but it was just a more fancy version of what the school has, because the school just has
Yeah,
like a just like whoop, let's put you right next to the instruments. Take it or leave it.
yeah. So it definitely was like more dedicated rooms towards it.
Yeah. So was there a live orchestra or anything like that during the play back a few years back, or like like
Uh, I think no, like for the middle school musicals, there isn't a live orchestra, and like even for like, since we were at the Hangar Theater, I don't think a live orchestra would have worked there for I guess the way that we were doing it.
yeah. Well, so backstage, I've dealt with I've done a few of the plays myself. Like, what's the wildest thing through like your near decade long of doing theater? Like the wildest stuff you've had to deal with?
Uh, is like, backstage as an actor,
Yeah,
uh,
backstage as an actor.
like there's definitely been quite a few times where I've almost forgotten that I'm supposed to be on stage for a scene. So I'm in the dressing room or in the chorus room where we watch where the performance, and I see that my scene's almost coming up. So then I have to rush over to uh, like whichever side of the stage I'm supposed to be on, and like is a huge pump in adrenaline. I definitely recommend knowing where you're supposed to be a scene before.
Yeah. Wow, that seems sort of wild. I don't know. I don't remember if there's any specific ones. I do remember hearing about like something similar during the place. What I remember is like this was middle school, so I guess things were different. But some people they got into little mini brawls with each other. There's these crazy chaos backstage. Like yeah, and it was like and you know we had like, one time it got so bad we had like to be silent, and then like some people they protested staying like it was not their scene, so they protested like being in the men's bathroom. They could be allowed to speak again. They were in there for a few minutes.
Oh yeah, I can definitely recall some like dramas between some of the actors.
Yeah, so have you ever starred in any short films or anything like that?
Uh, like no, I haven't really done it's like personal directing or acting videos, sort of like that.
Oh, so you haven't done anything like that.
Uh, no, I definitely love acting, like directing and writing is something that because I haven't found a niche or talent for. But I think that could definitely be developed if like college.
Oh, so you're not really into filmmaking. But last year, I remember last year it was you guys were doing a musical, right? And then on the last day of the musical, everything was shut down. Like you know, that was when the beginning with the COVID stuff, right?
Yeah.
What was that? What was that like? Were you part of it?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, so how it all went out was that backstage, Mrs. Howell, uh, like the like director of the shows, she was talking to all of us like right before the show started, saying, "Oh, we might have to cancel tomorrow night's show and that was the final show. So we were all like very disappointed, thinking that our final show is going to be done, and like this right now is going to be our final show.
Yeah,
But still, it was speculation at that point. She said there's still the possibility, but by the end of the show that we were doing that night, she came out on stage after the bows and said, "Sorry, we have to cancel tomorrow nights," and everyone was completely destroyed. It was super unfortunate.
yeah. Was there fewer people in the audience? Like, did you notice that day by day there would be people in the audience or people wearing masks? Or
Uh, I don't think at that point people were wearing masks. It was, I think, early March. So I don't think that became a huge standard at that point. But I don't think there was less of an audience.
so, do you have any plans for drama club this year? Like, do you hope that you guys do anything or do anything at all with El Tapa?
Uh, like I definitely hope so, but it's looking so far at this point that there might not be. Like I got like an email from Mrs. Howell earlier in the year that me and Ryan Sue, another amazing actor in the school, are co-presidents of uh, the drama club, and like nothing really else has developed from that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's too bad. So like, do you feel bad that like the last night, like you just, like did you see a lot of people during the last night freak out and stuff over what was happening in the final night being canceled?
Uh, yeah, like a lot of my friends, like I said, completely distraught. Some tears were shed among all of us.
Yeah. So how did it must like what'd you guys like so it must have been so I know it must have been shocking, but did you still think that there'd be a possibility of like any El Tapa plays happening in the future at that point?
Yeah, we definitely hope for COVID to like die down enough for us to actually do a show this year. And like back last year, we were talking about doing Bye Bye Birdie this year, and like still, it's unfortunate that we weren't able to, or just still looks like we won't be able to.
Do you think do you think El Tapa will be able to do a play by 2022?
I think yeah, with the developments in like vaccine distribution, I'm pretty sure that it would be like definitely more safe, not completely safe though, to like open back up like Del Tapa and drama and musical programs.
Yeah. So what was your like out of all the El Tapa like and Hangar Theater plays you did, like what's your favorite role?
Trying to think. The eighth grade did Mufasa, which is Lion King. Ninth grade, that's the ensemble for that one. 10th grade, what was that? That was Mamma Mia. That was Bill Austin. And 11th grade uh, was Once Upon a Mattress, and I was the Wizard. So it's my favorite out of all of them. I think it would probably be the Wizard from Once Upon a Mattress, because it was definitely more a goofy character, and it was definitely something that was really fun to play as.
Yeah. So what exactly did the wizard do in the play?
Uh, yeah, the plot of the play. Trying to remember, it was like quite a while ago. Uh, it was the story of uh, a princess that was found by this kingdom, and the prince immediately fell in love with her, but the queen, which is basically the wizard's boss, so it was my boss, like did not like the princess and was trying to do everything that she could to make sure that that princess wouldn't marry the prince. And so it was basically up to me to develop potions and plans to make sure that the prince would no longer fall in love with the princess, so that the prince would stay the queen's little baby child forever.
So you were like the relatable antagonist.
Yeah, I was like basically partially an antagonist. But of course not the main one, the queen was. And but yeah, I was like the goofy lackey right hand man to her.
Yeah. So what? So Hangar Theater. Like, what's the Hangar Theater like? Is it a bigger stage than Lansing Stage? I haven't been there since I was about 7 years old. I was watching James and the Giant Peach. Must have been a while back, but it was just incredible the stuff they did.
Yeah, like the production designers that they have for it, it's like super amazing. And like the difference between the stages is that our stage, it's more of a standard stage and audience, straightforward. But with the Hangar Theater, it's more, I think it's called a flex stage, where the stage is more open and the audience more circles around it, like more of a semicircle. And uh, yeah, like I said, the stage is like really transformative. Uh, like it really is more of a blank slate to make completely unique sets, and it's like super cool to see what they do with it.
So you guys perform for more days, right? So no, the like El Tapa stuff, like it's 4 days, like 3 days, like it's only like 4 days.
Yeah, for the Christmas Carol, I think the performance lasted usually 3 weeks in some years. So it was definitely quite the commitment to like put on that same show like just about every single time.
Yeah, does it get easier and easier every time, or does like sometimes it's more stressful than others?
Well, definitely opening night is the most stressful, but then after that, it definitely becomes easier, and to the point where it becomes too easy, where we just kind of go through the motions. So it's definitely important to make sure to remember that this is what I always hear. You're putting on the show as if it's always the first one that you've done, because like for the audience for each night, you don't know if this is the first show that they've seen or if it's the 100th show that they've seen. So you always got to do it as if it is your first shot and you're doing it as best as possible.
Yeah, is the like final nights ever stressful?
Uh, I haven't really seen stress from the people on final night. Where I think there's some stress could come in with, yeah, knowing this is the final opportunity to do it. Uh, yeah, I want to like also make this even more than as best as possible. I want to put uh, the rest of the energy that I have for the entire week into this. This is the final one that I got to do.
Yeah, have you become like any or got to know anybody extremely well after doing the Hangar Theater for several years?
Uh, yeah, definitely. Uh, like the main director for the Christmas Carol, Michael Barakiva. Uh, he is like such an amazing director. He a great visionary. Uh, like, he always has like an amazing attitude, and uh, like right now he has stepped down from his role as like head of the Hangar Theater, and that has uh, like been brought over to someone else. But I think he's still doing some community stuff, because like I can definitely imagine him still doing some stuff with theater for the community.
So you also do sports, right? Like what type of sports do you do?
Like right now, I am only doing track and field, like indoor and outdoor, like for those seasons.
Uh, so outdoor track, that's about to start, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, do you think you guys are gonna have to wear masks and stuff, or like, is that now like, isn't it already quite social distance in the first place since you have lanes where people run?
Uh, yeah, I think it's still better to have the precaution to like always have masks on. Like they are definitely harder to breathe in like when you're working out, but I think it's the like sacrifice you have to make if you want to like keep that sense of safety.
But like, you think everybody's would be more safe for masks compared to just like all the teams you go up against just getting tested and stuff constantly and frequently?
Uh, like the availability of tests and I guess the inconvenience of doing that, it, I think it's too much, I guess, for the school to handle. So I guess like they turn towards like the easier solution, which is just everybody wear a mask and just better safe than sorry.
Do you guys for track and field, do you have tryouts or do you just like everybody just automatically get in?
Uh, yeah, everybody just automatically gets in. I think that's like sort of the benefit of being in a smaller school like our district. There isn't much competition like for spots on the team. And, like the track team, especially, like is very accepting of all kinds of people. There's always a place on the team for that person. It's not like uh, soccer or basketball where there's the starting team and then there's like the secondary team and some of the other people. Like everyone always has like an event that they are uh, like always chosen to do, and like it's just amazing to be a part of it.
Yeah. So you guys have semifinals and finals winter in varsity? Like, do you have to like travel some far way to like go against some other team?
Uh, yeah, there's definitely uh, like far distances you have to travel once you get higher into the competition. The only like the farthest that I've went is trying to remember. It was always held at Ithaca College, uh, like indoor track and field. I've only been into like any sort of qualifiers. Yeah, it was state qualifiers for indoor track and field. And that was held at Ithaca College. And the further that you went into the competition, it's like the further out you would go. And like I remember Catalina Zolaj, like an amazing high jump competitor. She went all the way to, yeah, she and Kyle Reed, also for high jump, went all the way to New York City to compete.
Oh, that's crazy. So they hold finals. They hold the finals in New York City.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it makes sense. There's like 8 million people there. Like, it's just shocking to think New York's population is 19%. Like not 19, it's 19 million, and then you have 40%. They're all just in this little tiny city. It's just it's sort of interesting.
Yeah, like a lot of people think when we say we live in New York, they think we live on Long Island or just in New York City.
Yeah,
No, there's this entire landmass that's
yeah. There's
connected to that island.
there yeah there yeah, yeah. Besides like maybe Syracuse and Albany, like they just don't remember the upper state. Like that is yeah, it's yeah, it's not just all just a bunch of farms. So did you do any sports in the past or
Yeah, before then I did soccer and basketball because my brother did those sports as well. So I wanted to be like him. And uh, like I did soccer and basketball from like recreation to modified in like to eighth grade. And during seventh and eighth grade, that's when I like first started doing track and field. And that's where my love of track and field came from. So I decided to switch only to track and field once I got into high school.
yeah, so you had more of a passion for that and you wanted to focus more of your energy and time on that compared to just doing multiple sports that you just haven't felt like sort of felt about in the first place.
yeah, because basketball, it felt about I was like definitely losing interest in it. Soccer, I still think I do have some interest in that, but I think like only playing that casually. Like I don't think I would go into uh like doing like actual seasons of that like in college or anything like that.
Yeah, like have you ever had any, like have you ever any favorite tracks in track and field? Like is Lansing's your favorite, or like yeah, or is there any other towns that like you like better?
Uh, like this is going further back because uh, like for indoor, we would only always go to the Cortland indoor track facility. And so I would have to remember back into 10th grade outdoor. So again, a while ago. So I'm trying to remember some of the locations that we went to. Uh, uh, what was it? What was it? I think Dryden. I think that's where it was. Where I'm thinking of. I think Dryden has like a really good like outdoor track location.
Does like is like it just big and nice, or does the purple track contrast well with the white? Or is it nice and long and sturdy?
Uh, oh wait, no, never mind. Now I'm thinking of different track. Actually, Trumansburg's outdoor track. That's actually the best one. So forget about Dryden. Trumansburg is uh, like the best one in my opinion. Uh, yeah, it has like a really cool bleacher setup. Uh, yeah, it has like very large bleachers, and underneath there's places for us, like all us competitors, to sit down like underneath the shade of it, so we can keep cool.
Oh, that sounds so nice. Like how come you think there's less people doing indoor track compared to outdoor track?
Uh, I think like there's different options of sports in the indoor season. Like that's mainly where I see like some of my friends like drop out of indoor track versus outdoor. Like uh, like the basketball is like during that season. So I've had friends say, "No, I won't be doing track like indoor track this season. I'll be doing basketball." But I think is also like people kind of like being sedentary in the winter and picking it back up in the spring.
Yeah, so you think that it's because more people are committed to basketball and shooting hoops compared to running?
Yeah, it's a shame.
I can't run now. Can't run now. I gotta go shoot some hoops.
Yeah, you see, when you do track, it must be the only thing that you're focused on. You can do no other sport. All your commitment has to be only into track.
So you have so a track. It's sort of like open ended. Can you choose like which parts of track and field you want to do? Since it's a pretty broad sport, right? Like you have running, throwing javelins or spears, and jumping and running with those plastic thingies.
I think, yeah, with seventh and eighth grade, that's like after your experimentation point where you try to find which events fit you best. And by the time that you reach varsity, like for track, because there is no like JV team, it's just varsity for sure. Uh, like that's when you usually like find the events that you like doing the most.
What's the
Uh,
most stressful game you had to play?
uh, I think like the level of stress that you feel in it just mostly depends on, I guess, your commitment to that event. Because high jump for me, I'm most committed to that one, so that one brings the most stress for me. But like it's a good kind of stress. It makes you excited. It pushes you to your best limits.
Yeah, like, did you struggle with high jumper at first and eventually become better at it, or like you okay? Like, or you
Yeah, there were
just get
different. Yeah, there were different periods of like highs and lows for, I guess, like my improvement with my high jump. I think at first I think it was a steady increase. And I think I remember like in the 10th grade season, like for indoor and outdoor, I was just stuck in this like little rut where I could not improve at all. And like I was definitely feeling frustration with it, but I kept going with it and trying to improve myself. And like in my 11th grade indoor track season, I was finally able to uh, feel a huge lift in improvement. Where uh, I don't know if you I guess know the I guess like standards for high jump. Uh, it always usually starts at 5'2", and that's where it's like the baseline of where a lot of people can jump over, like for the men's, and like 6 feet, jumping 6 feet. That's where like a lot of people drop out. And like for that 11th grade indoor track season, I was actually just about almost able to clear 6 feet.
Do you plan on doing this type of stuff in college, like going out and trying out, or are you just mostly focused on like pursuing like a passion for theater?
Uh, yeah, I still want to do track and field, and I still want to improve in high jump in college. So I'll definitely like be still into that.
Do you think like college athletes should get paid?
Uh, I don't know, because I think I would compare it. Well, I think to the level of uh, guess organization that you're in for it, because I think the college makes major, I guess, profit nationally to a certain sport. Then I think the players should be paid for that, because I think college football, that's definitely a big thing for a lot of colleges. I think some of them, like the players could be paid for that. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not uh, like that caught up on, I guess, that sort of sports drama.
I guess it was like sort of a shock when I went. I always just assumed they got paid, but when I learned, I was shocked since they're adults, right? They do the work. Like, yeah, they're going to the school there, but they're doing the store, and the school's making the money, right? And then paying and giving funding to the athletics division, right? It's not just the athletics division which they're performing with that's not getting all that ad revenue, not making all that money from like sponsorships.
Yeah, like if there's sponsorships, uh, that's like directly like for the team, then I think some of that sponsorship money could go to the like players.
Yeah. But I find it too bad because like college football these days, like everybody gets excited for the earlier college football. It's like a pre-football season, and yeah, basically like the it helps getting the players recognition and helps them most likely eventually get drafted. But I guess it's just too bad that they don't really get paid even anything.
Yeah, because it's definitely their passion that they want to really pursue, and it's like kind of difficult when there is no income into that.
Do you think that the movie theaters are gonna die out now? Now with because of COVID and do you know what HBO Max is doing?
Uh, like I know of HBO Max, but what are I don't think I've heard exactly what they're doing.
So Warner Media, they pay $15 a month, so it's reasonable. But they're gonna release their big 200 million, 100 million blockbuster films for all of 2021. All they're gonna do it on HBO Max and on theaters at the same time. It'll be on HBO Max for 31 days straight for anybody to stream, watch, do, and review, while also being in theaters for like the next 2 months after the 31 days on HBO Max goes away.
Yeah, I think movie theaters will definitely take a huge hit and become less of a norm. I'm not sure if they'll completely die out entirely, but yeah, the majority of is like movie and TV consumption will be on streaming platforms.
Because I know there's some people who like just love the experience of being in a big dark room with other people, hearing the sound, feeling the film. But they've been around for nearly a century now. As long as you've had silent films and you've had even the Edison films, you've always had at least some form of theater. And I get that things evolve and change. Just I wonder if like they're gonna either just struggle throughout the next 30 years and be like Blockbuster, or are they just gonna adapt and be something similar like Netflix and like find new ventures.
Uh, yeah, I think they would like start floundering out, and I can definitely see a reality in the next 30 years where they're completely gone because, like you said, Blockbuster got completely replaced by uh, like streaming because yeah, like Netflix, that was the main thing that thing kind of killed Blockbuster. So I could definitely see streaming also killing the movie theater industry.
Yeah, the good thing about like HBO Max is like most other films. The crazy thing is like you pay $10 for a normal movie ticket, but if you get like a movie that they're just selling on demand, it's like $20-$30. Like Disney's film, their subscription's $8 a month. They want you to pay $30 to watch a movie one time until it comes out normally 3 months later.
Yeah, and yeah, actually, in that sense, I would think that's more of an incentive to go to the movie theater because I definitely wouldn't pay $30 to just watch something on like Disney Plus on my iPhone. I would definitely want to spend that like $30 and like some more on like the tickets and food and actually go to the movie theaters like if it's safe.
Pete Docter, he released Soul, and they tried to delay it so I could bring it to the theater, but like they eventually released Soul on Disney Plus. It was a released Pixar film, and it was pretty great, and it was amazing. Yet for films such as Raya and the Last Dragon, which is an animated film made by Disney, which is on the same level as Soul, they make you charge $30 for it for the next few months.
Yeah, and I think I remember because I saw Soul with my family like when it first came out because it came out on Christmas and it was actually free to watch on the platform. So it was a definitely no brainer to watch it.
Yeah,
Uh, but with something like uh, Milan and the Last Dragon, sorry, I forgot what it was called.
Raya, I know
Yeah,
I don't.
if it's $30 just to watch it at home, I don't think I would spend that money to watch it.
It's not even an MCU film. It's not even like
Yeah.
something like Godzilla versus Kong. It's just like a thing that's like on the same level as Soul. Though probably the only reason Soul got it was because it was delayed for 7 months. So like imagine if you just had Disney making us wait another 3 months to watch it like normally.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can definitely like wait the time for it to like become cheaper or just free on the streaming platform.
Do you think Warner Media's ideas is better? Do you think they have a better plan?
Uh, does Warner Media have streaming?
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
HBO. They own.
Oh, that's HBO. Yeah.
They own the HBO, and then like Time Warner, and yeah, they've owned it for a while now, like 30-something years.
We're not completely familiar with all the different business strategies of the different companies that have them.
Yeah, I also find it crazy now that Warner Media is owned by AT&T. They have all that stuff. Like the next thing you know, you could have Gandalf promoting AT&T's new wireless plan. Yes, if you buy our new unlimited data plan for $35 a month, you will pass into coolness. Yeah, I don't know. I know Peter Jackson's. He's a little bit of an auteur. Do you have any favorite films?
I think yeah, Soul like you just said, I watched it with my family. It was a really awesome movie, especially with like its representation of like African American culture. Like, that's definitely something that like pulls me in, like makes me want to watch it.
Yeah,
Like
I thought.
and the soul music, because I absolutely love music, and like soul, one of my favorite genres.
Yeah, I really like the artistic style they went through. I thought like the depiction of like how they portrayed the great before and like all of what happens after before birth and after death. I thought that was like an interesting idea, and the way Pete Doctor represented it was like incredibly stylish and like amazing. I've never seen anything like it before. You know, I thought the film was really emotional and funny.
And yeah, like the art style, like Pixar always uh, seems to do like amazing different things for just about every single like installment in their lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, and, you know, I just thought Jamie Foxx gave it his all as a performance, and you know, Graham Norton, he was funny in it too. Like I thought, and I also thought it was interesting, like Tina, how they incorporated Tina Fey's character and how she just wants to sound like a middle-aged woman just to annoy the guy, and she's basically this like troll who doesn't like she just doesn't want to grow up and keep on messing around with the great before, like getting like Abe Lincoln and Muhammad Ali angry while they tried to teach her. Yeah, you know, I thought that was quite interesting, and I sure hope they keep on doing better in the future. I know they don't have John Lasseter. He made Toy Story. I sure hope that you know, they continue making great films.
Like, yeah, I definitely hope so too. Like definitely one of my favorite like movie studios. I've watched like a ton of the movies from them.
I've watched nearly every single one except for Onward. I gotta check that out. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get into it, but yeah, but yeah, I've even seen the Cars films. I've even seen Cars 2 with Mater going on a spy in Great Britain with Michael Caine playing to do spying and to going on crazy rescue missions as a hillbilly truck. Yeah. Yeah, but you know, but besides maybe the Cars films, you know, they do make quite bad films. Like even then, like it's not like horrendous. It's not like The Room or anything or Date movie or anything on that level.
It's not like Despicable Me 3.
It's, you know, it's way above Illumination. Like I just feel that Illumination saw they can make money after Despicable Me, and then they just like, well, let's just ride the money train as fast as we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, thanks for talking. It was really good having you on the show, learning about theater culture and what it's like to do track. I'll just say thanks for talking.
I mean, yeah, thank you for having me. It's the like first podcast I've ever been on.
Oh.
Definitely a really cool experience.
Uh. Anyway, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Anytime.